Guys, also when it comes to vibrational work, this is one thing that is a huge problem that people don't really realize. And this is something that I have struggled with in the past as well. And that is when you are not aware that you are relying solely on the outside validation. A lot of people, even when they come to me, will not be aware of this. They will think that everything is fine, that they're doing fine, that everything is good. They just have this little problem now with this person, but they are confident, they are secure. They just don't see themselves as insecure. They don't see themselves as somebody who relies on the outside validation. So, here is a very simple way to test this whether you are truly feeling safe inside or if you are seeking that safety outside. So, as you know, there are all kinds of anxieties and fears. But basically, if you get anxiety every single time something, doesn't really go your way, or there's a delay, or something goes wrong, then you are relying on the outside validation. What do I mean? So, you are in a happy relationship, everything is going well, you are getting that validation all the time, and you're not aware that you're maybe relying on outside validation. The moment something goes a little bit wrong, let's say you're still in that relationship, but your person kind of doesn't reply as quickly as they used to. So you notice that little change in energy. And the first thing you think is something is wrong. Something is wrong. And you try to somehow do something to regain those instant replies. So you either like comment, hey, why aren't you replying on time? Are you with somebody else? What are you doing? You just make this big deal out of it, or you get really anxious about these replies and you keep checking their online status, and you again energetically make a big deal out of this. Or even with other situations in your life, let's say at work, the moment there is some kind of a little problem, maybe you haven't finished your assignment in the scheduled timing, and now you're panicking, and the worst case scenarios are the only thing that are running in your head, like extra anxiety, worry. You are so sure you're gonna get fired, your day is ruined, your mood is ruined, you're only thinking about that. When a little thing goes unplanned or wrong, or there's a little change or shift in someone's energy, and automatically you panic, automatically you feel not good enough, not chosen, it's the end of the world, your mood is ruined, you can't eat, for example, you can't sleep. That is when you know that you are depending on outside validation, and this will most likely not just be with a romantic partner. Most likely, in majority of the cases, this will be at work as well, it will be at school as well, it will be around friends as well, family members, just like in general, you're going to seek that validation. So that is how you know. And when everything is going well and there's nothing that really triggers us, we are not really aware that we are depending on outside validation. We just think we're doing well and we are feeling safe. But in actuality, that safety that we're feeling is coming from that other person. So we are relying on that person for our safety. That's the thing. That's what we are doing in a lot of the cases. And then, when something happens and you come to me and I ask you how you feel, and you're going to tell me, I feel pretty confident all majority of the time, and I don't think I have any like issues with this. Sometimes that will not be true, and you will not be lying to me. You will honestly think that, because you will not kind of realize it's a little bit complicated. Obviously, like everything is a little bit complicated and complex, because that's life, right? So I hope I have explained this properly. As always, it sounded so much easier in my head. But basically, if you are relying on somebody else to provide you with safety, which is basically somebody else validating you, and then you feel safe, you feel secure, you feel okay, then it's not coming from you, and we have a problem. Now, absolutely, people that are safe and secure will also notice energy changes because we feel energies. They will also notice when something is wrong, obviously, and they will also not feel good about it or happy about it. But the thing is, they will not be panicking, they will not go immediately to the worst case scenario, and they will react differently. So they will not potentially send a million texts or make a big deal out of it or make an argument out of it. They will, maybe communicate their needs, express their needs, talk about it. Hey, I've noticed this. Why is that? It's not like they will not notice things and they will ignore things. Absolutely not. It's just the difference will be in the reaction inside and out on the outside as well. So I hope this is clear. So if this is you, and if this is you still, because sometimes we will be doing the work and then we will start getting results, right? Movement. And we're going to feel really confident because we're getting those results. And then when those results stagnate or something, goes wrong, because it always can, there's ups and downs, there could be ups and downs. And suddenly we are back into that victim mentality and we don't feel safe, we don't feel wanted, we don't feel chosen, we feel really bad and our mood is ruined and we can't think about anything, we can't do anything. Some people can't eat, sleep. That was me in the past. I always had trouble with my appetite when I would get anxious, and therefore I was like really slim when I was younger. So it was kind of helpful, but in a very unhealthy way. So if this is you, then you actually are not validating yourself. You actually do not feel safe and secure, and you actually do still depend on that person to provide you with that feeling of safety. And as long as you depend on some other person to provide you with a feeling of safety, it means that you're not regulated, and it means that you are basically um, still operating from that programming of, I'm not safe. I don't feel safe. I do not feel safe within who I am. I do not think I'm good enough. I do not think that I'm chosen. I do not think those things. And this is showing you that you need to do more work because it needs to be sincere. It needs to come from you. And very often we are just gonna be in a denial, thinking that yes, we feel better. But in reality, we are still not fully regulating ourselves, and we only feel better because we are getting results and not because we actually are validating ourselves. And this is often the case. And the best, I mean, it is a difficult process when you are not in contact with your person, and then the work takes really long. But those people, they tend to really do this work properly because they are not getting any validation from their person, because they're not in any contact, nothing's happening. So they are just forced to do it solely for themselves, and they can really master it. So in every hard situation there is something good. Always remember that. Always positives in the negatives. There's positive in everything. But yeah, I hope this is clear, and I hope that you realize the difference when it comes to validating yourself and relying on validation from the outside. And of course, we all love the validation from the outside, and we will still love it and want it, and that's normal. I mean, that's the point, right? But the thing is that we will also be having it on the inside. So if we get rejected, or if something doesn't really go our way, we will not be reacting with panic mode. That's the difference. But outside validation is always nice, and let's not lie about that. Anyways, I love you guys.